In my last couple videos, I got this Pioneer Car 8-track player ready for my car, and for this video I'm going to get some 8 tracks ready to record and play. This one here is the one I mentioned in my last video. It's a 90-minute recordable 8-track. It isn't blank though, it's got some shit recorded on it. But I'm just going to hit it with the bulk tape eraser and wipe it out. But I'm going to service this cartridge. As you can see, the pressure pad in it's completely shot. Just going to pull that out. Oh, that's just crumbling under my fingers. Then I'm going to sort of blow out the loose stuff here. And I'm going to take a Q-tip with some alcohol on it and just sort of give this a basic wipe down. And I just used this Q-tip before starting the video to clean the lens on my iPhone camera. A lot of stuff in the video had halos around it because the lens was real greasy, because I just got done eating Domino's pizza. So my fingers are kind of greasy. Now I'll take this pinch roller and clean it. It's not wanting to come off real easy, so I'm just gonna leave it on and clean it. Just get a fresh Q-tip, put some alcohol on it. Let's see here. I'm using 91%. Just kind of wipe that roller down while spinning it around. Now, some cartridges have rubber rollers. Others have plastic rollers. This one's rubber. It's always good practice to clean your pinch roller on your cartridges and to keep the capstan in your machine clean, because if they're not, it'll affect the speed stability. Now just put in the new pressure pad. Get this bottle of 3-in-1 out of my way. Okay. Now I also need to change the foil splice, but the tape is not on the foil splice right now. So I'm gonna do is snap it back together. Back side hooked in. Make sure the tape is behind the plastic casing. And you want to be very careful not to pinch the tape in between the layers of the plastic casing. Okay, so what I'm going to do to get it on the foil splice so I can replace that is I'm going to stick it in my home unit. And first I'm going to turn this on. It's on tape. I've got auto eject turned on so that as soon as it gets to that full splice, instead of changing programs, it'll just kick the tape out. So I put this in, it's on fast forward. And it's going to fast forward through that. And as soon as it gets to that full splice, it'll kick the tape out. Now, while I'm waiting on that Intermagnetics cartridge over there, thought I'd take a look at this America cartridge real quick. This one here is actually in excellent condition for an 8-track. It doesn't need a new pressure pad because it's got the little leaf spring with the felt pads, and those are still intact. So all this one's going to need is a new full splice and to clean the pinch roller, and you can do that without having to open the cartridge. You can just take a little precision screwdriver here and pull some tape out of the way, and there's your access to the pinch roller to clean it. Just make sure that you let the rubbing alcohol evaporate off of it before spooling the tape back in. And then you just got to get to your foil splice and change that out, and I'm going to do that using the same method as I'm doing over there. Okay, so this one just ejected. It has gotten to the foil splice. Now, some people may wonder, why replace that full splice when it's already good? Well, the answer is it's because as old as these cartridges is, that adhesive holding that full splice on there is most likely old and weak and brittle, and is likely to fail soon. And whenever a full splice breaks, it can be very bad for the tape and the machine, because what can happen, it's coming along here, it snaps, and if it snaps, near the capstan and pinch roller, the capstan is probably going to continue pulling that tape, and it'll just keep pulling it on out, but instead of it going back into the cartridge, it'll be spilling into the machine. And because the tape is still moving past the playhead, it'll sound like it's playing normally, and you won't know that anything is wrong until either there's so much tape bunched up in your machine that it jams something up and causes a problem, or you pull the cartridge out and you got 25 feet of tape all inside your player. So to prevent that from happening, you always replace your full splice. And to do that, take a pair of little scissors like this and you cut. It's hard to do this with one hand. Right, just short of the full splice on each side. New full splices, I got these on eBay for like $3. Only problem is these are diagonal cut. Straight cut is best for 8 tracks, so I'm gonna remedy that. Okay, so this is what I got here. When you put this on, you want to lay it on the table. You want to press it in, and then lay it flat. And I use the back of this precision screwdriver, which you can see that spins round. It's rubber, and I just took that and held the tape down with 2 fingers, because you need 2 hands to do this. And then with my other hand, I used the back of the screwdriver, sort of like a dough roller, and rolled it back and forth along there real hard, and then flipped it over and did it on the front of the splice too. Just if I can get it to lay down, just went back and forth really hard like that to press it in really good. So now got a new good splice on there. So this cartridge is all serviced and ready to go. You just gotta put this tape back and spin it around a bit. You want to make sure that the tape is pulling from there and not there when you go to snap the cartridge back together. You want to make sure you've got proper tension. You don't want too much slack, but at the same time, you don't want the tape to be wound too tightly, or then it won't roll, and then it won't move anymore if it's too tight, and your capstan will be spinning along here, and it'll just spin on the tape until it cuts through the tape. And if you have too much slack in here, then what can happen is the tape can just bunch up along this area and put those little zigzags in it, and that's not good. So this tape is fully serviced and ready to go. It's got a new pressure pad, a clean pinch roller, and a new foil splice. So get her all back together, and that is ready to record on. I'll get the bulk tape eraser and get this cartridge wiped out and ready for new recording. The America cartridge is ready. Hopefully I can manage to not accidentally pull the slack here back into the cartridge. If I manage to not do that, then I can service this one without having to open it. I've already cleaned the capstan. I mean, not capstan, I mean pinch roller. So get some tape out here. Cut out that old splice. I start by cutting the backing so that I still have the backing on the foil splice. And then I cut the diagonal edges off of it, make it straight. And then I'll fold the backing back so I don't get fingerprint grease. I want to avoid touching the adhesive on the foil itself. Just lightly get it on there, see how well lined up you are from the other side. Oh, that's a pretty good joint there. Then peel the backing the rest of the way off. And remember not to touch the adhesive. You don't want to get fingerprint grease on it. Then line this up as steady hands as possible. Okay, we're a little crooked. Well, that'll have to do. Okay, then lay this flat using this end of the screwdriver again. Roll it so that it's firmly pressed into the tape. Okay, and then you want to flip it around, look along the back. If you have any excess foil tape sticking up, you want to trim it off. Okay, and so here we go. this cartridge has a new splice, and one simple little trick you can do for testing the tension in these cartridges without having them open is to pull some tape out on where the pinch roller is at. You don't want to do this test on the head section or program change section. You got to do this at the pinch roller. Pull no more than just 2 feet of tape down, then grab this side of the tape toward, closest to where the head is. Don't do this on this side, only do it on the side closest to the head. Give it one quick little yank, and the tape should draw itself back up into the cartridge like it just did. If it sucks itself back up into the cartridge, you know you've got good tension. And this tape is in really good condition, so this one's ready to play. It came in a nice sleeve. So I got that one. Now I got 3 good playable tapes. Well, I've also got this Elvis one that I serviced, but first of all, I've got to glue this one back together. And the tape itself, I don't know how well you're going to see that on camera, but you can see how worn that is. This one had the, just like the America cartridge, it had the leaf spring with the 2 little felt pads, but the felt pads were missing, so I converted it to a foam pad. You had to do a little cutting of the plastic back here to get that to fit, but that does fit perfectly now. Okay, this Elvis cartridge is done. I cleaned the pinch roller on it and went ahead and got it glued back together. If you ever have to glue a cartridge back together, like if you take apart one that was glued from the factory, or you have to cut it or break it or rip it apart, you want to be real conservative with the glue. I used Gorilla Super Glue Gel and just put a few little dots around just to hold it together. You don't want to go put a whole bead and seal the thing back up, because then if you ever need to get back in it and again in the future, it'll be a real pain in the ass. So that's 4 cartridges I got good. Now I'm going to take the bulk tape eraser to this one and get it ready to record on. Okay, and for those who have never seen one, this is a bulk tape eraser. This can erase any magnetic storage medium, videotape, audio tape, floppy disks, anything that uses magnetic storage. It's basically a handheld, plug-in-the-wall electromagnet that you use to erase a whole tape or computer disk all at once. And you want to make sure you do this away from any audio, video, or computer tapes or disks that you do not want to erase. So make sure all that stuff is far away from you when you do this. hear the tape buzzing in there. This is the bulk eraser. You can kind of see a little reaction out of the tape. It's wanting to pick up the tape. Well, duty cycle just kicked in. Well, let's hear the result. See if this thing's wiped. I hear nothing. 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 And nothing. Okay. I now have a blank cartridge to record on. So that's it for this video. Preparing 4 8 tracks for playing and 1 for recording. I've got some others here to do. This one has got no tape in it at all. This is just a dummy tape for making a machine run while working on it. I got these 2 that need to be serviced. And then all my 8 tracks will be in good playable shape. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.